Hello, and welcome to Guaranteed Adventures. What you're about to hear is a promotion from Tomes of the Chaos Bard, another family-friendly actual play tabletop RPG podcast. If you enjoy us, and you thought, I would love it if they have a longer story, then you should head on over to Tomes of the Chaos Bard. They're fun, they're funny, and they have original music. So without further ado, Tomes of the Chaos Bard.
Our story starts in the land Kaleth, where a goblinoid power is rising in the north with contention in its wake. We follow our intrepid heroes who I have called to bring balance to the chaos. Our fearless leader, Roscoe.
So you're the leader of this group? Well, that's what they tell me.
Our lady with one body and two minds, Lila and Garatha.
There are two of us here. They're very distinct personalities, but never dull moment, never lonely. That's for sure.
Our timid Henley.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Our adventurous Fenrir.
And he's gonna start making his way, but he wants to be playing a song as he goes.
And our wise Boudreaux.
Once upon a time, they'd be human, and then they turn into scary animal, and that's why you call them where, because you don't know where the human went. But
Tomes of the Chaos Bard, an actual play D&D podcast with original songs and music. A podcast for all ages. You can find us on any major podcast platform and YouTube. I am Solemn the Chaos Bard. Come, join us as we unroll the scroll to tell the tale. Bye!
Hello and welcome to Guaranteed Adventures, where the stories might change, but the adventure is guaranteed. I'm your GM Tim, and going around the table we've got
Nathan playing Bertram Honksleaf.
Seth, playing Otis.
The other Seth playing Quill Greybell.
Kyle playing Jean Auton.
So these are our characters for our new Maplewood adventure that we are starting up.
Let's go.
Let's get into it. In the world of Maplewood, there is an Order of the Maple Leaf called the Order of the Maple Leaf.
That's a good name for it.
It's not, yeah. It has different chapters spread out throughout the wood, are in charge of providing protection for those different areas. There is also a bandit coalition, which may or may not come up later on in the adventure. We start our adventure in Marshview, as there are three young caretaker apprentices who are wandering around the town at the Festival of Atlas Days. Who do we see as we zoom in on these three guys?
Probably first you'd see the giant armored moose person.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wears silver armor, has a silver face mask on so you can't see his face at all. He has a long blue cape. He's carrying a halberd. The blade is in the shape of a maple leaf.
Ooh. Does he have any decoration stuff on his armor?
He probably has a gold embroidery stuff on it, of branches and stuff like that.
And so he is a moose knight, which is one of the elite fighting force people of the Order of the Maple Leaf.
Yes. He is the son of one of the head
guys. Head honchos.
So he's been in the order his whole entire life.
So we've also got Bertram Honksleaf. He is a rather muscular-looking goose, as much as odd as that may be. Typically, he's one of the members of the gaggle within the order, who gaggles are, they're a lot of the people on the front lines, will be in the combat. A lot of times you'll see them wearing armor. He's a little bit more just wearing the coverings that would go on the armor, showing the symbols. of the gaggle, but is not actually like wearing the actual armor himself. He like doesn't like the restraint on his movement as much. Like things a little bit more freer, and he can do more without it.
I'm picturing the lower half more free and more than the top half.
I mean,
like a Winnie the Pooh situation.
It's a little bit more of just a robe, more or less, or just a little like the not quite loincloth, but like longer than that. But I mean, yeah, it can be a little bit more freer.
The Smeagol covering that's just like almost
like,
there.
I think it's like a little bit more than that. But
okay, good.
Quill is your hedgehog looking guy who probably is just, as he's walking, just trying to make eye contact with every single person, just like nodding, like, hello, welcome, yes, so glad you're here, sticking close by. And yeah, as we're going up a hill, I'd probably just, as I've always done, and very casually just jump onto Jean's back and let him kind of carry me, so that way I'm not falling behind, and just kind of right in his shoulder a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, as you're kind of walking through the city, we've got there's different vendors selling different types of foods, and there's a guy who's off to the edge shouting, test your might with all of these skill checks and different things that you can do to compete with your fellow humble folk.
I'm going to look at
I'll walk over and be like, sir, your way of talking is not usual?
Oh, you guys are the caretakers in training, the apprentices.
Yes, that is us.
Perfect. Well, then you should be able to do this quite well because your teamwork is already established through other mystical ways, right? Because that's what they tell us.
Yeah, obviously, yes.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Good. So, you see behind him there are different levels of bars that are set at varying heights. And so the goal of this one is you have to throw one of your party members up as high as they can get and grab onto one of the bars.
Just like when we were kids.
Yes. Although you did grow a lot bigger and it's harder for me to throw you now.
Yeah, I know, but you must still try.
I'll rub my hands together and say, do you have any powder?
He kind of waits for a second. He's like, oh, yes. And he grabs some dirt off the ground and kind of gestures for you to grab it.
Ah, perfect. All right. So, alley-oop?
Alley-oop.
Alley-oop.
Yes, this is a team thing, by the way. So you all have to do it together.
So, 2 on the bottom push and one goes flying.
Maybe it would be better if you guys throw me. I mean, it'd be a little bit lopsided if me and Jean throw you. So.
Yes.
But what if I throw him and then he throws you?
Oh, let's do it.
What could go wrong?
You would definitely win if you both of the ones who were thrown were, grabbed onto the bars that are up there.
Let's attempt it.
Let's do this.
Let's attempt it.
I love it. Okay, so Jean is going to be at the bottom throwing Bertram, who's going to be throwing Quill, right?
Correct.
If I understood that right.
Yeah. What was confusing about it?
I have no idea. It was
Don't worry,
clear
I was confused too, and I was the one saying it.
Yeah. All right. So let's make strength checks.
Is it just athletics?
Yeah. Athletics check would work there, and then you guys make acrobatic saves as well. The ones being thrown.
I rolled a 20.
And then, so acrobatics first for...
Yes, acrobatics for Bertram.
That is 25.
Nice.
Athletics, 27.
Okay, awesome.
Did you all roll 18s?
Okay, so what check is my first one?
You just, since you're not throwing anyone,
Correct.
You just have an acrobatic save to grab onto that bar.
Great, 19.
19?
Yeah.
Nice. So you just, Jean just huck them up there, and right in perfect timing, just like you're in training again, Bertram, you toss Quill up, and you both grab onto bars that are in cascading order. The guy at the bottom is like, I have never seen such teamwork, or it was beautiful. He's got a tear coming out of his eye that he slowly wipes away.
Usually, I'm the one on the bar, but I make an exception today.
Yes. Well, I mean, you guys can come down now. This was, I mean, and you've got like crowd now around, and they're all like clapping. And, yeah, you're so amazing.
That was awesome.
I like to just glide down with my wings.
And then I'll land in John's like antlers.
Oh, nice. Nice. You guys can pick anything out of here that you want. And he kind of opens up a small chest, and there's like little trinkets and stuff in there. Quill, you get just like this, it looks like a blank piece of paper at first, but then you turn it over, and it is half of the floor plan to the monastery of the Order of the Maple Leaf there in Marshview.
Thank you, sir. This is amazing.
Why do they have
quite
that?
the treasure. John, you pull out this shimmering glass orb that has a piece of paper in the middle of it that is a riddle in a language that you don't actually speak yet. Or know. I don't know why I said yet. I'm not planning on giving you language proficiencies. Yeah. So there's just like these figurines cut out of leaves, like dead leaves. You know those dolls that you can kind of cut out and then you out of a piece of paper and then you unstring them and they're all like one string. It's like that, but it's like a bunch of different kinds of animals.
I feel like we got called into a children's activity and maybe no wonder we did so well.
I mean, there was nobody there, so.
Okay, well, okay.
Can we do it again for more prizes? I have 4 more kids.
Well, I mean, if you could bring them here and they can, I guess, do it.
That is a good idea.
As you keep kind of walking along, there's different other games. There's a bunch of people riding around on like giant cats that are just trying to knock each other off. In a little bit, as you're kind of walking through and seeing some of the food vendors and stuff like that, you hear these footsteps running up behind you, and you hear someone saying, "Bertram, Jean, the Maple Leaf has come. The one who's coming to give you your mission from the speaker. The Great Maple has decided that you're ready to become caretakers."
Oh, that is mildly exciting.
That is very exciting. Wow. We better get you guys going. Yeah.
Time to finally fulfill my father's footsteps.
So as you're walking up, you hear that news has started to spread that like these apprentices, which really are just Jean and Bertram at this point, because Quill, you left the order, the training, right? The apprentice program?
Yep, no longer an apprentice. Just took over more training other apprentices to see who would take my spot instead.
Yeah. So right now they have not found, you would know this, they haven't found anybody yet because they would submit it to you for approval first before going on. But you can tell that people are starting to kind of crowd around you and like usher you just out of the town to where the monastery sits up on top of a large hill.
I always hate how they do this. They push me around.
Push you around?
I hate how they do this. I go where I go.
Yeah, you can tell like there's just very small paws that are like on your legs as you're just trying not to step on them. So as you come up to this monastery, you see there are 2 great big archways right at the entrance. One that leads into kind of a courtyard where there is a beautiful little maple leaf sapling. And you would know that each monastery has a sapling there that kind of is symbolic of its, representation of its connection to the great maple. So this sapling is, still a young tree and very much alive and probably, 10, 12 feet tall. So it's definitely towering above even the monastery and at least the courtyard. And so it's able to be seen. And you can see the current caretakers are there and spread around. And there is another character there that you see, a young squirrel who looks like this.
He is a red squirrel, so he's got reddish fur, and he wears nice clothes, but they're like loose. Like they're not too big for him. They're just a looser style of clothing for easy movement. He's got a nice scarf wrapped around him with pinned up by a maple leaf insignia.
Yeah, and they're kind of talking back and forth, and as you approach, the guards kind of halt the crowd behind you because this is kind of more of a private thing. that they're supposed to do. But the crowd outside can see the courtyard, can see everybody there, and see the maple sapling as well. And as you kind of approach, there is one of the older members, one of the older caretakers that's there, Ashlyn Yellow Growl, says, "Oh, it's so nice that you came so quickly."
We came as fast as the crowd pushed us.
Ah, words of wisdom, Jean.
I hate when they do that.
John is just eagerness. They're excited.
Ah, Quill, it is so good to see you again. You have not
yes,
been here.
Master Ashton.
We still have not found your replacement.
Well, I'm sure someone will gladly step up.
I hope they do, especially in light of the great maple now saying that you are ready. And he gestures to Jean and Bertram. It's like, we have never had a caretaker or monastery that is just 2. It is always 3 or more. So we must see how this goes, I suppose. But, young squirrel, you come bringing a message.
As she looks up at Otis is not looking at her at all, or the newcomers. He is just looking out at the crowd that's gathered around. He loves when all eyes are on him. "Hello, I'm Otis, the Maple Leaf, sent by the Speaker of the House with an important message to deliver. And I'd like to sing a song. Oh, I met a squirrel so lovely, lived in a hickory tree. I knew when first I saw her, she's the only squirrel for me. Her tail, it was so lovely, and her whiskers were so fine. I'd be the happiest man alive if I could only make her mine. Oh, never again in hickory, you're not the squirrel for me. As we talked, I knew that it was love that I had found. She wasn't much for climbing, liked to stay upon the ground. Her fur was gorgeous, black and white, I'd never seen its pair. And when she spoke, it sounded just like music in the air. Oh, never again in hickory, you're not the squirrel for me. And then a vicious beastie came a-swooping through the air. That squirrel, she left the beastie and me both a-running scared. A noxious cloud, it filled the air. Good heavens, lads, it stunk. For as I'm sure you figured out, that squirrel, she was a skunk. Oh, never again in hickory, you're not the squirrel for me. Oh, never again in hickory, you're not the squirrel for me.
Yes, nice. Woo!
Quill is just so excited. This was amazing. Not quite the tone of the meeting, but
make a performance check for that with advantage. Do it with an advantage.
25,
yeah. So you could see, like, right at the beginning, the crowd was kind of like, okay, so you're a Maple Leaf, and they had a Maple Leaf caretaker that's there. Very stoic individual, just super, like, everything's so serious and matter of fact, and it's like, no, this is how it is, and definitely not charismatic. And you hop up and give this wonderful song, and they're like, what is this guy do? I'm into it. And so by the end, the crowd's like clapping on the beat, and which is amazing for crowds to be able to do. So that's how good of a performance it was. So they're just in awe of that. And so the current Maple Leaf, Osbert Sableleaf is his name. He says, "Well, son, that was inspiring. A skunk, you say? Based on true events, I assume. Your life?"
What kind of animal is Osbert?
He is a... It's weird. He is a... No. I'll say he is a gallus, like a chicken.
Otis, I don't think even... Otis is just like reveling in the applause. I don't think he even notices him. He's still just standing up, like waving at people.
Son, come down, please. It is time to give the message.
I look down and say, "Oh, right,
Otis.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Oswald." And I'll hop down.
It's Osbert, but thank you for jumping down.
You're welcome. So, who's I pull out the letter, and who is the letter addressed to?
The letter is addressed to the apprentices at Marshview. So not specific names, but just the apprentices at Marshview.
So who are the apprentices at Marshview?
That would be Jean Autran at your service.
Bertram Honksleaf, also at your service.
Otis just looks up Because I'm like 3 feet tall. Like, how tall are you guys?
So about 8
So
feet.
you're easily you're over twice my size.
Yeah.
I'll look up and hold the letter up as high as I can.
I'll grab it from.
And Osbert says, No, that is not how this is supposed to go. And he grabs it away from Bertram from your hand. He
Apologies.
hands it to back to Otis and says, Otis, you read the message.
Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot.
Did they not train you on this?
Sorry, I got caught up in the moment with the crowd.
Has the Maple Heart gotten that lax in procedure?
No, I'm just tired after a long trip.
You should have rested before coming. That is irresponsible.
Yeah, but I was just so excited to be here.
I guess I understand that.
So I need to read this, right?
Yes, you read the message the speaker gave. That is our jobs as Maple Leafs.
I'll hop back up on the ring around the tree.
Nice.
And I'll open the letter. From the eternal great maple comes this message. How beautiful my children were. Will they ever be this way again? My branches feel stiff and dry. They shine as spring comes closer, and bringing with it my end.
As Otis is reading this message, the bark starts to turn black and starts to crumble, and the leaves start to dry up and fall to the ground. And as they're falling, they just turn to dust, and the whole area is now filled with this smoky smell.
So Quill, seeing this, is like in shocked. This should not be happening, and the timing of this does not seem right.
Mm-hmm.
So can I make a perception check, investigation, see if there's anybody that might have caused this and was waiting for the speaker to do this?
Yeah. Make a perception check, I think.
Nat 20.
Nat 20, nice. In Quill's training, he's very perceptive or he has been trained in ways to see magic that's like a lot of times hidden to the eye. And so as Otis was reading this message, you could see that there was wisps of magic coming off of the piece of paper that he had, and kind of going both to the tree and then to the caretakers that are around there too.
What's everybody staring at?
Yeah, I'll quickly grab the piece of paper away from Otis, not even acknowledge him, and I'll bring it to our maple leaf and say, this was emitting light and power. I believe it was caused with the sapling.
Oh, yes. That is how things are done, fair Quill. The message that is given is written on special paper that causes whatever is written on it to become reality. And only the speaker has access to this paper, supposedly. Now, this message, I don't know why the speaker would want our sapling to die. But it must have something to do with the mission. Maybe it's to find the cause of this. Maybe somebody's doing it. Maybe it's time for the age to end.
I'll look to Otis and say, what did you know about this? What's going on?
I've still got my back to the tree. I haven't actually seen what's happened yet. What do you mean?
Well, do you not see the smoke, the power? Turn around, Otis.
I'll turn around, and just my jaw will drop. I'll say, "What? I don't think this was supposed to happen. Was this supposed to happen?"
All things happen in the way the great maple designs. But this is confusing.
Are there like clergy, or what are they called? Like you said, like
the caretakers.
The caretakers?
Yeah.
Are there like a bunch of caretakers around?
There's just the 3 original caretakers.
Not caretakers. I mean, like, are there like other like
oh
people
no,
that work at
it's just pretty much
so
the
there's
caretakers.
no one to
you.
like. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's the crowd that's kind of around.
I want to get people to start getting the crowd away.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's like the monastery guards.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Oh, okay.
Asking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the monastery guards are there. They're just standing in awe though, because they've never seen anything like this.
I'll just like walk up to them and be like, "Get this crowd back to the festival."
Oh yeah,
immediately.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna hop down around the base of the maple and just like pick up a branch and try to put it back on the tree.
Nice. Yeah, so the guards start snap out of their trance and kind of start ushering the crowd outside of the monastery there, so you guys can have some time.
Perhaps we should take this inside.
Yes, that is a great idea. Let's go inside. There is something that we need to give you before you set off on your mission.
I don't even know what the mission is.
Quill, I know this is not what you would desire, but can you accompany them? If somebody has gained access to the speaker's paper, they will be one of the most powerful people in the land. Even if we had another shade in training, I could not trust them to do what needs to be done.
Quill will look pensive and reluctant, knowing the last time that he went out on a mission did not end the way that he thought he would ever encounter before, and that's why he stepped away. And he'll look.
I think Jean will see him kind of just look on his face, and he'll bend down towards him, put his finger on his shoulder, and be like, "Quill, if something is happening to the Great Maple, we must figure what it is, for we owe our lives to the Great Maple."
That's true.
I cannot think of anyone joining Jean and I but you.
I will need to run it by starlight, but count me in.
I walk over and just slap you full on the back. That's the spirit. Ouch!
Yeah, you have some quill marks in your hand now.
Yeah.
Yep.
They'll give a night's rest, I think, to kind of get everything in order and everything set and ready to go for you guys for the next day. So you have an evening here before.
Before we go inside, who has that paper? The letter.
I gave it
to
Osbert.
Osbert has it.
Okay.
Yeah. And as he kind of goes inside, he waves you over and kind of pulls you aside too. He says, "Otis, you must keep this paper. It is your paper that was given to you by the speaker. Tell me, was there anything that you noticed when you were given this that was different than the other times that you've been at the Maple Heart?"
The speaker seemed worried. I don't know about what, but he seemed a little bit on edge.
He has a lot on his mind.
Yeah. He said I'd understand more when I got here. Maybe you'll be able to explain a little bit.
Make a...
My deception and persuasion are both +9.
Okay.
Good Lord!
Up to you. Yeah, make it either a perception or
19.
19. Nice. He says, "Well, everything about this is most unusual, but yes, let us talk." And he kind of pulls you in, and he's going to kind of talk about the roles of the Maple, specifically on the capstone mission that they're given. And so the role that the Maple Leaf plays is a lot more of a guiding voice for the group to kind of keep them on track, keep them what they're doing, and remind them why they're doing, what they're doing. You still hear sounds of the festival going on down below.
Are they still in the meetings? He's still in his meeting, or?
Yeah, it's probably like an hour and a half that they're in that meeting together.
But Bertie, I think you should wait for Otis and show him around, while Quill and I go to our families and for one last night until we come back.
I will honor your wishes.
Yeah, so you guys are going to your families, Jean and Quill.
Yeah.
Jean,
I imagine we're neighbors too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
You
have to be neighbors.
We bought a duplex.
Our family basically lives in it.
It was because we were apprentices, they built new construction because you have 7-foot-tall moose on one side and 3-foot hedges on the other.
It's a hilarious looking house.
Yeah. It's a mirror image, just one is like half the size.
So what is Jean's house like as he walks home?
Probably a little chaotic. He has 5 children. He has one that's about 10-ish. And then he has a daughter who's about 8, and it just keeps going down. 3rd and 4th are twins, and then he has like a newborn still. Yeah.
Little baby.
Little baby.
So kids running around all over the place.
Kids running around, one swinging around a stick, acting like a moose knight.
Of course. So, and when Quill gets home, what do we see in Quill's house?
Quill loves his family, and he'll salute to Jean as he walks through the smaller door on the right, and will yell, "Starlight, I'm home!" Starlight is the light of his life. Met her a few years ago, but didn't put a ring on it per se until about 2 years ago after that mission, but now they have 2 probably 8-month-old kids, Roxy and Rosie, 2 twins as well. Yeah, it's probably a mess. It's a happy mess. It's a lived-in mess,
a comfortable mess.
Yeah, you walk in and you know that people live here and are busy purposefully, and that you can tell that they would welcome any stranger into their home.
So Starlight kind of comes around the corner, has like a dish towel in her hand or something from doing some of the dishes, and says, "Quill," and kind of runs to you and like frolics across the living room. "Quill, you're home."
Starlight, it's been so long. These last 3 hours have just been so hard.
I was heartbroken when you left, but now I am complete again. Is it true, though?
I was not expecting this to be my wife.
Is that the light of your life?
True, but I wasn't expecting her to be flowy and hippie.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is great.
Is Starlight.
We're hedgehogs.
Hedgehogs can be fun, too.
It's true.
She says, "Is it true that the sapling is dead?"
The sapling has indeed, or at least is diseased. We don't know if it's too late or dead fully, but that is partially why I'm here, honey. And I've been asked to go along with Jean and Bertram. We have not found a suitable replacement for the apprentice yet, for me. And even though, as you know, we have many good trainees, unfortunately, none are as good as me. And I need to go. And I know that's something that we agreed that I wouldn't necessarily do unless absolutely necessary. But, honey, I think this is necessary.
If the Great Maple is indeed in danger, you must go. You have no other choice. We will be fine. Darling, dearest, Honey Boo Boo.
You know Honey Boo Boo's my favorite one.
That's why I always save it for last.
Yep.
When I call you our pet names.
And where are our 2 little special darlings?
Oh, they were napping. We had a big day at the festival. Come, you must say goodbye. I guess you're not leaving till tomorrow, but
I know you miss me, but let's just savor this last night, and I would prefer to hang out instead of leaving right away.
I would like that too.
I do know that Jean is over talking to Talia now and saying goodbye. So maybe we have one long last dinner, before we go, and we will make it back. I will make sure of it. Jean and I will make it back. Bertram too.
So let's go to then Jean and the chaos that is happening in his house.
I think so it's usually chaotic, but as soon as the children see him, they get they're usually just very soldierly. Just
do you have them?
They line up.
So,
do you have them in the Sound of Music where they all with whistles and they all line up according to height or age?
No, I think it's just as soon as they hear the door handle, they immediately just line up.
Okay.
So you hear the chaos in the background. Maybe if it's a scene in a movie, you'd hear screaming, and all of a sudden as soon as the handle turns, it's just dead silent, and just hear scurrying, and then.
So your children, your house is chaotic for sure because of what was just.
I know
there.
what's been going on.
Yeah. And your wife comes around the corner and says, "They will never do that for me. How do you always just commit? It's mildly infuriating, Jean."
You babies them too much.
So, how was the message? Is it true about the sapling?
It is true. And therefore, I am going on a mission to figure out what is going on with the maple.
Well, this is your dream. And our family's dream.
I have worked my entire life for this mission. And for the maple.
There is no one I would trust more with the future of the Maplewood than you.
Quill is coming along as well. I know that he is not supposed to, but there's no one else.
Are they welcoming him back as an apprentice?
No, he's just going on the mission. For I trust only him.
Well, I know he will take care of you.
And I will take care of him. Yes. And Bertram.
Yes, Bertram. He doesn't come around much.
He likes to keep to himself.
All right, children. Dinner time.
And I'm going to pull Paul aside at some point. Paul's my oldest child.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
There's Paul, Belle, Dane, Jane, and Percy. Paul, while I am gone, you are the man of the house.
Yes, of course, Father.
Nailed it.
I won this at one of the games in the festival. I want you to have it. And I give him my little glass bead with the riddle in it.
Thank you, Father. This will be my most cherished possession from you. I will use it in all my combats, and I will honor you.
I don't think that's what it is for.
Oh.
Just hold on to it until I get back.
Can I chuck it at Percy?
Percy is a baby. Please do not.
He must learn reflexes like you did with me, Papa.
I will teach him reflexes. You just focus on your training with the stick.
Yes. And you see he has it like strapped to his back.
For one day you will inherit the Albert.
The family Albert.
Now go train.
Okay. Yes, Father. Papa. Whatever I call you. And he runs off with the ball, the little glass orb.
Let's just cancel the campaign and let's just do this house.
Welcome to
Maplewood, a sitcom.
But Paul will be training the whole time. He won't have dinner yet.
Yeah. You'll just hear stick sounds in the background. So back at the monastery, Bertram and Otis, what are you guys doing?
Bertram is just kind of pensively waiting outside, just the door, waiting for Otis to finish up with the maple leaf. And he's just kind of twirling his thumbs, just thinking back on his life, thinking about the what he just witnessed in front of him with the tree igniting, and is just this is not what I expected. This is not how I thought my journey would start, but here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, because so the others went back to their family, and does Bertrand have any family in the area?
No, his father has actually passed away, and so he is kind of a lone wolf, although lone goose, I suppose in this case.
Lone goose wolf. Wolf goose.
Lone wolf goose. So he tends to keep a lot to himself. He's a bit more on the reserved side, but very introspective.
As he's kind of sitting there, the door opens, and Otis comes out with Osbert.
Hi, I'm Otis. And I'll stick my hand up at a 45-degree angle.
I'll reach out and be like, Bertram, nice to meet you.
You too. So you're one of the apprentices here?
Yes, I am. It seems we may be going on a journey together to figure out what's going on with the maple leaf.
Yeah, it sounds like. Looks like we're leaving tomorrow?
Yes, that is the plan.
Where'd the others go?
They went back to their homes. They have families, loved ones that they were spending one last night with before adventure.
How about you?
I live alone.
I'll slap him on the back which I mean is probably about waist level.
Slap him on the butt.
And say,
Tail feathers.
you know, I saw a carnival on the way in. You want to hit up the big top with me?
I was just actually there, but I can enjoy some time there, too.
All right, just give me a minute to get ready.
Yes, let me show you to your room.
So yeah, there is basically like a common room where if the apprentices don't have families, they stay. All of them stay there in that room. So there's like 4 or 5 bunks that are set up there.
So I'll follow me. Here's our rooms where my bunk is up here. My below is here. I'll be waiting for you outside.
Oh, great. That sounds wonderful. Thanks, Bertram.
Yes, you're welcome.
And so, Bertram, are you staying in the room? Or are you heading out? Or...
I'll head outside and wait out front.
So yeah, Otis, you're kind of alone in this room now, and you've got the cloak that you grabbed. And what are you doing?
I'm getting ready. I'm gonna take my scarf and like wrap it around my tail so it's not so big and bushy and not very noticeable. Yeah. And then just throw the scarf over me, pull the hood up, make sure that as many of my features are hidden as possible.
Yeah. As you go to, like, you take off your scarf and everything, you hear a little clatter and clang that goes to the ground. And it's your maple leaf insignia that kind of fell off as you were taking off your hood thing.
I'll reach down, I'll bend over slowly and pick it up and hold it up and look at it in the light. I honestly haven't really got a good look at it. And I'm gonna see a little spot of blood on it and just take a rag and wipe it off, clean it up a little bit, and then pin it back on my cloak.
Yeah, you're done getting yourself ready. Got the maple leaf all polished up and everything, and then
yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, this is very different than the way I started the day. This bed that I'm sitting on is probably the softest bed I've slept on in years, and I'm thinking that it might turn out to be a little harder to impersonate a maple leaf than I initially expected.
Probably. I think that is where we're going to end our session. So,
what do you mean impersonate?
I don't believe you were in the room.
No.
So, that's privileged information.
Quill is still...
Quill's very skilled.
Yeah,
I followed you.
All right, well, that is the first episode of Maplewood. I am your GM, Tim, and going around the table, we've got...
Nathan playing Bertram Honksleaf.
Seth playing Otis.
The other Seth playing Quill.
Kyle playing Jean Auton.
Thank you for listening, and we will catch you next week.
Guaranteed Adventures is brought to you by Tim Gallegos as our GM, Nathan Kuipers, Seth Guthrie, Kyle Bateman, and myself, Seth Kleinwert. Our theme song was created by Rob Benson, and our Maplewood theme is Wonderland by Roman Senny K Music. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at GU AdventurePod. Please feel free to give us a rating on our podcast platform of choice and share it with your friends. Thanks so much for sticking around for the end of the episode. We really appreciate you listening to our second adventure here, and we're excited to see what comes next. Here's a preview of our next episode coming out next week.
Jean walks in. I guess, are you guys... Did you keep up with Jean, or are you coming in later, Quill?
I would have waited for him.
Okay, at the entrance?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
just to see if I noticed him.
There you go.
Yeah. Can I see if he noticed me?
Yeah. Make a stealth roll. Stealth check. And then a perception. Because you're actually looking for him, right?
No.
Oh, you're not? You're just... Okay.
16.
16?
Yeah, that beats me.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
9.
9? Okay, yeah, for sure.
My passive perception is 9.
I would have had to gotten a 0 for him to notice me.
Do you have a +9 to that?
Yeah.
Rogue expertise.
Wow. What kind of characters did you guys create?
An idiot.
I have expertise in 5 skills.
Oh, don't worry. My character makes up for them.
Perfect.